Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about all the books I hauled in this year. Yeah, this year so far. So that's 4 months now. So we have a lot of books to get through. I would hold them up, but I don't think I can manage because it is a lot, like a lot. Like a lot. So we're still in a lockdown, but slowly things are opening up again, and now we have this rule that you can sign up for a shopping session of like 15 minutes and you can basically go ham. So that's what I did. At the start of this year, I signed up for 50 minutes in the bookstore and I bought 3 books there. The first book I picked up was Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, because I think it was January that my shopping spree was, and so I watched the Netflix series in December and I actually really enjoyed it. I've heard people talk about these books and saying that they love them. The show came out during Christmas and I was like, well, maybe this is perfect, and it was pretty perfect. It was like super cute, super inclusive, super thoughtful. The romance had a nice pace, so I really wanted to pick up the book and see if it's, better. Readers always complain that the movies or the shows don't match up, that the books are better, so I was like, well, I do want to see if it is better. The next book I picked up is Climate Rebels, which are short stories about people who actively try to make the world a better place, especially the environment. So this book has an introduction by Dr. Jane Goodall, who has done a lot of research with chimpanzees, I believe. But there are many other. I saw Greta Thunberg on the cover, and many other people who I do not yet know, but I'm dying to know more about. Also, can I just say the starting quote of this book is like so good. Yeah, the quote is, "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it," by Robert Swan, OB. The environment shouldn't be someone else's problem, it's our problem. We're currently living on this planet with everyone else, and we should all try our best to make it a better place, to make it livable so that we don't have snow in April. And the last book I picked up at the bookstore was not one I wanted to pick up per se, but I saw it in a vlog of Peru's Project, Reagan, that she was reading it, and the synopsis sounded so fun. And then I saw it on the shelf and I was like, oh, this sounds super fun. And it is Kings of the Wild, with the amazing tagline, "The boys are back in town." So this book follows a crew of men whose glory days are long gone and they are now retired, but then one of their children, I believe is the daughter of the leader, is in danger, and they all get the band together again to try to save her. So it's about these men picking up their weapons once more and finding that things are a little different now that they're older. And yeah, it sounded really fun, really humorous, and just, I've said fun so many times. Then, in the months of March and April, I believe, a lot of my pre-orders arrived, and also 2 Owl Crate books. And I was super excited to find this book in an Owl Crate box because I was just really excited for this one, and it's The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, which is, honestly, the cover itself is so stunning. It's about 16-year-old Deka, who is super nervous for her blood ceremony because she hopes her blood will run red, but then her blood runs gold, and gold is the color of impurity, and so she knows it will be bad in the village if she stays. And then this woman shows up and basically offers her a chance because there are more girls like her and they have superpowers, or like magical powers, I think, and if she wants to join her. And yeah, it just sounds really cool and really exciting. Another pre-order that arrived in March, I think, is The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, which is another fantasy. There are a lot of fantasy books actually in this haul. It's an epic fantasy and it's called an LGBT romance, I believe, and it's about espionage and an uprising, assassinations, and all that political goodness. So I'm super excited for this one. I haven't really read too much about it because I kind of want to just go in a little blindly, but I'm super excited for this and I hope it's gonna be epic. Another pre-order that I've been dying to get my hands on is the second book in the Infinity Sun trilogy, Infinity Reaper by Adam Silvera. Now, I've read all Adam's books. I'm a huge fan of his writing, so I was really excited when he announced that he was going to write a fantasy series, because all his books, some have magical realism or like a magical element in them, but none of them are truly fantasy, and this was marketed as a fantasy series. I was really excited. The world building is really interesting because at the heart of it there's phoenixes, but like different types of phoenixes with different magics, and there's hydras, which I haven't really seen in a lot of fantasy books. And of course, since it's Adam Silvera, there is a lot of LGBT rep in here. I'm super excited to see him expand on it in book 2, so yeah. Okay, moving on. We've got another pre-order. It's Can't Take That Away by Steven Salvador. This, oof, I'm so excited for this one. I mean, I'm excited about all these books. Also really excited for this one because there's a non-binary main character. I haven't read a book with a non-binary main character, so I'm super thrilled to dive into this. Carrie, the book's main character, wants to be Elphaba in the school's play Wicked, but people are kind of on the fence about it, some don't like it. So we see Carrie dealing with this, but what is really cool about this is that each chapter has the pronouns of Carrie like at the top, so you know which pronouns they use in that chapter, which is so cool. Talking about exciting pre-orders, finally the second book of Aidan Thomas is here, Lost in the Neverwoods. I've read Cemetery Boys by them, and oh, that book was so amazing. I really loved that one. It was just so rich with culture. It was fun and it was heartbreaking, and the romance was just amazing. So I can't wait for this one. This is a Peter Pan retelling, but darker. That's all I know about it. That's all I want to know about it going in. It's about Wendy. Darker Peter Pan retelling. Yes, I think it's after she returns from the island Peter Pan lives. But yeah, that's all I know. Super excited. I was thinking of maybe vlogging my experience reading this book because I'm that excited, but yeah. Then we have a book that was in my owl crate, and I was already eyeing the book but hadn't really bought it yet, and then I saw that it was in the box and I was super excited that I hadn't bought it because now I have this beautiful edition of Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrian Tooley. This is about witches and it has a female-female relationship, and I believe there's also a love bargain, which sounds great. I had these on my shelf because they matched so beautifully. I love this color. Can more books be in this like purpley pink? It's gorgeous. I have one more purple pink book for you, which also came out like in the last couple of months, and that is my second book. This is from the Happydale Rain series, which is I call it the Indulgent Gay Werewolf series. It's about werewolves, it's about finding yourself. It's got D&D, it's got great friendships at its heart, but also angst and romance. And yeah, so my second book came out, People Need a Storm, and I'm super proud of it. And also, I'm glad that it's purple. The next two books are book 2 and 3 of the Mortal Engine series, which I owned the first book. I think I bought it on a vacation in London. Anyway, I owned that one, read it, kinda liked it, kinda wanted to continue, so I bought Predator's Gold, which is book 2, and Internal Devices, book 3. I also watched the movie, by the way, after I read the book, and the movie was pretty good. Especially though, can we talk about Anna Fang? You know, sometimes you have this image in your head of what the characters look like, and when they cast actors it doesn't really match, but Anna Fang was just amazing, which is great. I was constantly like, yes, this is what I want. Mortal Engines is about cities on wheels, basically. The world building is honestly what hooked me from the start. It's a sort of steampunky, dystopian kind of vibe, but really interesting. It's definitely middle grade-ish, though they tried to sell it as YA, but I read it as a very middle grade book. Then I bought two books. The first, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm going to buddy read this with a friend. It's been on my to-read list for a long time, and then she was like, why not read it in April? I bought it because I didn't own it yet. I don't think I need to explain to you what The Secret History is about. I think most people have read it or know of it. I think this is like the dark academia book. I think if you're into dark academia, this is the book you read. I haven't actually read that many dark academia books. I beta read a dark academia book for a friend of mine, and that was really cool, so I did like that, so I'm wondering if I like this. And then, yeah, I couldn't stay behind. Everyone is raving about this book. Everyone is like, this is amazing, this is the new Court of Thorns and Roses, and as you might have seen from my last videos, I've been rereading that series, so I picked up from Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a heavy and thick book. I was surprised. I'm always surprised by how heavy they are. I don't really know much about it, and I kind of like that. I kind of like going in blind. All I know is that there's a romance that is both steamy and heart-wrenching, aching, so I picked it up because I really do love the Court series. Though again, there are issues with it, but you know, I love the aching, the pining, the romance, and if this has a similar romance, I want it. And finally, the last book that I hauled today, I think this is the 15th book. It is A Court of Silver Flames by, of course, none other than Sarah J. Maas. All I know about this book is that it's about Nesta and Cassian. And that's it. I think it is about their romance, but the plot, I have no idea. I mean, it is a big book, so I assume there is some plot. I'm anticipating banter and snark, sass, and steamy scenes. So, yeah. I've lurked on Goodreads to see what other people think about it, and it's really intense. It's like either 5 stars, they love it, or 1 star, and I hate it. So I'm kind of curious where I fall on the scale. The thing though, the thing about this book is that it doesn't match my other editions. Like, I know the cover is just, I'm not a fan of the cover. I know some people are, and most aren't. I'm not a fan, but the fact that the size doesn't match, that it doesn't match up, it's just like, and that's it. We're done. We're through. You made it till the end. You've watched me ramble about 15 books, including my own. If you are at all curious about my books, I'll put a link in the description down below, but you can also head on over to everafterprint.com/shop and you'll find all my books there. I self-publish them right now, though I am trying to get published, but haven't really sent anything out yet. That's a scary process. Thank you so much for watching. I'm curious though, did you already read A Court of Silver Flames? Were you the 5-star love it or the 1-star hate it person? Or have you read any of the other books I mentioned? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in another video. Bye! Did you know I like always crack my neck when I do that? I think it looks like fun to be like bye, but every time it's like yeah.